All right, so we're recording. Welcome. Thanks for joining us on this webinar about marine biology programs. If you joined in live yesterday, then you may notice that we're wearing different clothes than we were in the original webinar. We had some technical difficulties, and the webinar yesterday did not record. The technical difficulty being me forgetting to press record. So here we are again. We've jotted down the questions that were asked yesterday. We're recording again. So yeah, this was round 2. We hope it'll be even better than the first time. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves.
Sequels are always better than the first movie, right? Isn't that how things go,
Yeah, I think
Bethany?
that's what they say.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to be back here again. I'll talk about marine biology any day. My name is Patrick, by the way. I've been a Broadreach instructor for 11 years, starting out as a scuba diving instructor for our Bahamas marine biology program. That program is actually now our Curacao Marine Biology adventure, which we'll talk about a little bit more in detail later. I've worked here at Broadreach HQ for 7 years now in roles ranging from program coordinator to our staff training director.
Great. And my name is Bethany. I am the marketing and communications coordinator here at Broadreach. So if you get our emails or follow us on social media, that's me. Here at Broadreach, you tend to kind of measure time by number of summers. So I've been with Broadreach for 3 summers now, and excited to talk about marine biology today. A little bit about the format of the webinar. We'll go over who Broadreach is, who we are as an organization, some information on our instructors, our health and safety, stuff like that. Then we'll go over the differences between our marine biology adventures, and finally go with a Q&A to cap things off. And again, we'll be answering the questions that were asked yesterday at the webinar.
Great. So a little bit about Broadreach. We've been around for over 30 years running trips for middle school and high school students. You see that photo over there of the campfire? That is our first ever Broadreach program. That was a sea kayaking and camping trip in the British Virgin Islands. If you look in there, you'll see our original founder, Carlton, over there on the you can circle in Bethany, yep, right over there. And then our current director, Mats, is there as a 16-year-old version of himself. And so we love working with middle school and high school students because it's a time for development and exploration in their lives. The ocean is really at the heart of what we do. So scuba diving, sailing, wildlife conservation, and what we're here to talk about today, marine biology. Marine bio specifically, these trips are some of our most popular for really good reason. You can also see here on the map the locations of our trips for 2024. The ones in blue are our marine bio trips. Before we dive into those, pun intended, we'll give you a bit more information about our instructors as well as health and safety on Broadreach adventures.
Awesome. So I'll talk a little bit about our instructors. Having met a lot of our Broadreach instructors, I will say that they are a really fun, really interesting, fascinating group of people, some of the most interesting people I've ever met. We're really proud that almost half of them return from one summer to the next, which is great. I know that families and students usually want to know who's my instructor going to be for my program next summer. It's a little bit too early in the season and the year to tell who exactly the instructor will be for your program for your specific trip. However, on average, I can tell you a little bit about our instructors as a group. On average, they're about 28 years old. If they're leading the academic portion of the trip, so in this case, they're the marine biologist, then they will have an advanced degree in the subject matter that they're teaching, so either a master's degree or in some case, a doctorate. So they're true experts in their field, and they're also people who are passionate about sharing that knowledge with our students. So they love marine biology, and they also love passing along that passion with young people, which is great. They're also incredible mentors. So after, years later, we often have students or instructors tell us that they've reconnected. Instructors often write college reference letters or job recommendations for former Broadreach students who decide that they are going to pursue marine biology academically or as a career. But ultimately, instructors are there to facilitate a fun and a safe experience for our students.
Speaking of health and safety, we know that for parents, your students' safety is your top priority. And at Broadreach, it's our top priority as well. Although our programs run in the summer, we work year-round planning and preparing for these programs. This allows us to take a proactive approach to managing the risks that our students and instructors may face during their program. To that end, we develop extensive emergency action plans customized for each of our trips that cover how to respond to incidents both large and small. Fortunately, most incidents we see are minor cuts, scrapes, bumps, bruises, but we do occasionally have a stomach bug or a broken bone, something along those lines that requires more extensive medical care. Our instructors are prepared and well trained on exactly how to manage these types of incidents. They attend a week-long in-person wilderness first responder training, which is crafted to foster an in-depth understanding of medical intervention, especially in outdoor scenarios. They also receive pre-summer training here in Raleigh or in St. Martin, which includes details about all aspects of the programs they are leading, including location, specific risk management considerations. At Broadreach HQ here in Raleigh, North Carolina, we provide 24/7 office support to our instructors and our families while students are in the field. So we're available around the clock during the summer to help out if anything should happen at any time. We also encourage and teach our students to participate in being great risk managers. They are briefed by instructors for each location they go to, and we help teach them important travel skills. Rest assured, we're committed to taking exceptional care of you and your student.
All right, awesome. So now let's get into the fun part, in my opinion, talking about our different marine biology adventures and which one might be right for you or your student. So a little bit first about the differences between the trips. Obviously, they're located in different locations, different countries, different lengths of time, all the way from 12 days to 24 days. Apart from that, we offer live aboard and land-based adventures. So by live aboard, we mean living on a boat, which is tons of fun and great for marine biology program. All of our high school marine biology programs also offer the opportunity to earn college credits through Lesley University. So you don't have to take the program for credit, but we encourage students to try it out. We also have some trips that offer scuba training and others that do not. Scuba diving is a great skill to have if you're interested in becoming a marine biologist, but it might not be for everyone. So we have options for both. And to kick things off, let's look at our middle school marine bio program.
Great. This is our Intro to Marine Biology Voyage. And as Bethany said, this is for middle school students. It's a 12-day boat-based adventure that starts at our Caribbean base in St. Martin. It is a fun trip for students who are interested in marine biology, but there are no tests or projects. So no college credit on this program for our middle schoolers, unfortunately, but students will still have lessons based on the cool things that they see underwater. And by cool things, I mean stuff like sharks, fish, coral, marine invertebrates, octopi, things like that. Ultimately, these lessons are really guided by what the students are interested in. Some highlights for this program: living on a boat, in particular, living on a catamaran is a ton of fun. Learning to dive and sail. So students, if they have not been scuba diving before, will earn their PADI open water certification. If they already are dive certified, that's okay. They'll get to learn and earn their advanced open water certification. Plus, they get to crew a yacht around the Caribbean. The islands that we go to on this particular voyage are St. Martin. We get to go to Saba as well, and also St. Bart's. Students will also get to try their hand at water sports and paddle boarding, sailing small dinghies, and they'll also get a chance to go visit towns like Gustavia on St. Bart's, which is really a highlight for a lot of our students. Also, hiking, community service, visiting different beaches. That there's so much. We could just make a whole webinar out of this program. But Bethany, I'll let you take it away for our high school version of this program.
Sure. Oh, great. So our high school version is a little bit longer than the middle school version. students are earning college credit, so that's part of the reason why. It's a 17-day long program, and like the middle school program, it's led on a boat. So it's a live-aboard adventure based out of St. Martin. So the program is more academic in nature since they're earning those college credits. So there will be some quizzes and tests, but don't worry, it's not like a boring traditional kind of classroom class. It's pretty much unlike any class that you've probably experienced before. Well, there'll be 3 instructors on the trip. So one of them will be a marine biologist who can be a great mentor for students, teaching them what it's like to be a marine biologist, what a career would look like, what kind of education you might need, as well as answering any of their questions that they might think of. Some highlights for this program, like the middle school program, you'll be able to earn scuba and sailing certification, so learn a little bit of both. You'll be living on a catamaran, which is a great setting for learning marine biology. You can literally step right off and be in the water. You'll also be exploring the different islands, like the middle school program, trying water sports, a little bit of dinghy sailing, exploring the different towns on all the different islands, getting a taste for the kind of the different culture that exists on each island, doing hiking, body surfing, community service as well. Another highlight of this program is working with the Saba Marine Park and the Saba Conservation Foundation. You can help them clean and maintain their coral nurseries, which is awesome for students. All right, Patrick's going to talk now about our Curacao program.
Okay, so if life on a boat is not for you, that's okay. We've got a 20-day land-based adventure in Curacao. You'll live right on the beach in a research station, and this research station happens to be the largest in the southern Caribbean. Curacao is a beautiful island. Some highlights here: earn your open water and or advanced open water certification. Also get a chance to assist with a coral restoration project. This is replanting staghorn and elkhorn coral on the reef in conjunction with the Coral Restoration Foundation. It's really beautiful to be able to go back year after year and see how the coral gardens that we've planted have grown. It's really nice to make an impact as well on the island. We mentioned college credit. There's 2 college credits here. Students will get a chance to complete a research project. This is usually in small groups. It's a ton of fun to go through that scientific process together. Also, beyond the marine biology elements, we'll get a chance to go kayaking in mangroves. And also, if we get a chance to, we'll help replant some of the mangroves along the coast. We'll get to try paddleboarding. One of my favorite parts, what's very unique on this program, is dissecting invasive lionfish. We'll also get a chance to hike Mount Christoffel for some amazing views, explore Willemstad, the colorful downtown capital, and also experience bioluminescence on a night dive.
All right. Next, we'll look at our Costa Rica sea turtle and marine conservation trip. This year, this program will be 14 days. It has been a lot longer in previous years, so we've shortened it to be able to offer 3 sessions and also help students who might not have a full 3 weeks to be able to participate. So this is a land-based adventure, but you'll be moving all around Costa Rica, so you won't just be in one land-based location, but several. You'll also be able to earn credits, which is exciting. And this trip does not offer scuba diving. So if diving might not be for you, this is a great option. So the marine biology focus really is exploring Costa Rica and living through the eyes of field biologists and conservationists. So you'll be able to observe wildlife in remote national parks and learning how to use different research equipment while also contributing to data collection and conservation efforts. Costa Rica is known for its ecotourism, so this is a great place to learn about conservation efforts, specifically related to sea turtles. One highlight of this program is getting to work with the sea turtle hatchlings, take some biometric data on them. That's really exciting. You'll also be doing night patrols for nesting sea turtles. You can see in this picture here, one group last summer was lucky enough to spot a nesting sea turtle, which I know was a highlight of maybe their life, not just the program, was very exciting.
Wow.
Apart from that, you'll be able to do a lot of Costa Rican adventures, whitewater rafting through the jungle, also zip lining through the rainforest canopy, fun things like that that you can kind of Costa Rica is known for, as well as some snorkeling and other adventures.
Next up, we have got our Fiji Shark Studies program. It's a very unique program that we've been running for roughly 15 years, and it's one of our more popular programs. I think just combining the words Fiji and shark together makes it so popular, but also getting a chance to live in a villa in Fiji and scuba dive with sharks every day while assisting with shark research, and that sounds pretty cool to me. This one is a land-based adventure, 24 days. This is for already scuba certified divers. So I'll reiterate that again. You have to be dive certified to join us here on the Fiji program. But you also get to learn about a unique conservation experiment and working in a shark reserve, collecting survey data on shark behavior with marine biologists and researchers on that boat. You also get a chance to dispel some of the negative myths around sharks while learning about their behavior, biology, and also understanding the historical and cultural significance of sharks in Fiji. Highlights, almost goes without saying, but diving with sharks, huge highlight. We will also do some non-shark dives as well. The coral reefs are super healthy there in Fiji, so we will explore those and all of the fish that surround those reefs. Students will get a chance to earn their advanced open water certifications. We'll also visit a Fijian village and experience the warmth of the Fijian culture and the Fijian people. The village that we visit is home to a lot of the dive masters and captains of the dive shop that we work with, so it's good to see kind of the whole social ecosystem there. Also get a chance to do some community service at a local school and go rafting down the Navua River. This one's a fun one, and I think you can probably see why it's so popular. Bethany, you've got a new program for us, is that right?
Yes, we're really excited about this program. This is the first time going to this location and also a brand new program. So yeah, it's give you a chance to be one of the first Broadreach students on this program and in the Azores. So the Azores are an archipelago of 9 volcanic islands in the Atlantic belonging to Portugal. So you'll be specifically on São Miguel in this program in one of those islands. There's no scuba certifications offered on this trip. However, if you are already scuba certified, there will be one optional dive that you can participate in. If you're not scuba certified, no worries, you would just be doing a snorkel instead of a dive. And this program is land-based, so it'll be based from one location on the island. This is really great for students who are passionate about marine biology and want to gain more experience in the field, kind of thinking of it as, live a life of a marine biologist and kind of follow along what that's like. You'll be working with local marine biologists, assisting with research and data collection, specifically looking at marine mammals, so whales and dolphins. You'll be able to get hands-on experience and see full circle how collected scientific data is used and processed. So not only collecting, but see what happens after. Some of the highlights, you'll be hiking into the crater of a volcano, which is really awesome, and checking out some thermal pools there. Again, it's a volcanic island, so lots of that kind of geothermal stuff to check out, including a visit to hot springs. And also you'll be trying a traditional dish that's actually cooked in the ground using that geothermal heat, which is really cool. You'll have the opportunity to swim with dolphins and either dive or snorkel with rays. And then when not in the water or on the water in search of marine life, you'll be exploring the island, lots of different cultural activities and things, including hiking, kayaking, canyoning, surfing, some visits to different local kind of businesses as well.
All right, we've got another new program, this time in the Yucatan. We're heading back after a few years, and it's exciting to have another land-based adventure for our students. And this would be for students that are already scuba certified, and our focus here is on marine conservation. Just to reiterate, students must be scuba dive certified in order to participate in this program. This adventure is designed to provide tangible, real-world exposure to conservation program planning while learning more about the existing conservation efforts in Cozumel. So we'll be working with the locals who are actively creating and carrying out these conservation efforts. It's really unique. While we're there, students will also learn about research, diving techniques, and how citizen science data can contribute to these larger global conservation solutions to all the different types of threats that are facing our oceans. Students will also pick a conservation topic and learn more about the program planning, management, monitoring, evaluation, and funding process necessary to make their program a success. So they get to kind of carry out that mini conservation program and build it from scratch, which is really fun. Beyond the academic portion, we'll also be snorkeling with whale sharks, which are literally the largest fish in the sea. We will get a chance to visit the Mayan city of Chichen Itza. We'll take a break to swim in a cenote, and we'll also work with nesting sea turtles and hatchlings. At the very end, we'll get a chance to visit a Mayan bee sanctuary and also check out a pearl farm, which should be pretty fun.
Awesome. All right, so before we get into the questions that were asked, I do want to mention that you can feel free to reach out to us if you think of other questions. Patrick's email is right there on the slide, pbryden@gobroadreach.com. We also have a promotion going on right now through January 2nd, 2024 for $250 off your program tuition, as well as a wrapped gift, which is our custom Broadreach quick dry travel towel. And that's when you use code HOLIDAY23 when you enroll. And now looking at some of the questions we got, there was one that I remembered from yesterday asking about how many days it takes to earn your open water certification. So Patrick, I don't know if you can go into that.
Happy to. So usually it will vary a little bit between program to program, but generally students, once they arrive, should expect to be open water certified within 5 to 7 days of their program starting. What's unique about Broadreach is that we don't ask students to do any sort of pre-work or like virtual lessons. So we will start from scratch at the very beginning on day one. And so students will go through some of the theory quizzes, the knowledge reviews with their instructors, and then they will do some skills in shallow water. Eventually, they will evolve into doing those same skills in an open water setting. And it's 4 dives to complete the open water certification. So it's quite a lot with everything else that we're doing at the very beginning of a Broadreach program. But within that first week, everyone should be dive certified.
Awesome. All right, one question we got was asking about student to staff ratios, specifically on middle school programs, and whether we perform background checks on instructors. For both middle school and high school programs, yes, we do perform background checks as part of the hiring process for our instructors. For student to staff ratios on middle school programs, so on our middle school marine bio program, it kind of depends on the number of students, but the maximum number of students we would have on a boat would be 12. And that's the same for all of our marine biology programs we've talked about today. There are a couple other programs at Broadreach that only take 8 students, but for these ones, it's all a maximum of 12. And we typically have between 2 to 3 instructors on each boat. Again, somewhat depending on the number of students that end up enrolling. So last year we might have had one with less than 12 students. I would also mention that in addition to the instructors that will be there, kind of 24/7 with the students on their boat and with other activities that they're doing, we have a significant support presence as well. We have a support boat following the fleet around, and there's some additional support staff there that can assist with anything that might need to be taken care of, whether it's maybe a doctor visit or something for ear infection, things like that. So there's additional resources on hand as well.
All right. We had a question around safety protocols, precautions for the Yucatan program. This will be very similar to all the programs and adventures that we run. If it's a new program, a new location, or somewhere that we haven't been in a while, we will send a Broadreach HQ member to scout the location, to vet all the local vendors, meet with our partners, do a dry run of the itinerary. They're also going to be creating those detailed emergency action plans that I mentioned earlier. We will also send our summer staff out before the students arrive to consistently meet with those vendors and partners, so they get a chance to get a feel for the program as well. With our program locations, we also tend to choose our accommodations away from busier, more tourist-centered locations. So we like to say here at Broadreach that we are travelers, not necessarily tourists. And so you'll see that kind of throughout the itineraries as well. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
Right. We had another question about how the college credits work. How do they transfer? What will they count as? So these college credits will be issued through Leslie University. So you'll receive an official transcript from Leslie University after you complete the course and get your grade. You can send that to your future university, whether you're applying to school or you've been accepted. You would send that transcript to them, to their registrar's office, and they'll transfer the credits. So generally they're natural science credits, but depending on what your university, they'll take a look at that, the syllabus, et cetera, and evaluate what requirements that might cover. So that's kind of up to the individual university, but they will be issued from Leslie University as if you'd taken a class on Leslie University campus.
Right, we got a question about how grades work. The specific question was, my daughter is in 8th grade this year. Would she be looking into middle school or high school programs? That's a question we do get a lot. You'd be looking on the grade that the student has completed prior to the summer. So in this case, a student currently in 8th grade would be looking at our middle school adventures for this upcoming summer.
All right, so we had a question about whale watching. How many days of whale watching will there be on the Azores program? So you'll have 8 days on the water in the program. Not every day will be specifically dedicated to whale watching, but the chances are pretty high that you will spot whales or dolphins even when you're not looking for them. And there is one dedicated whale watching afternoon apart from, from the different days where you'll be collecting data and things like that.
Also, we had a question about community service. If you visit our website and you look at the specific programs you're interested in, you'll see the number of hours that we plan for a program, and you'll see what some of the past and hopefully the present projects will be for that particular adventure. When the summer is over, the students will receive a letter detailing the hours and the projects that went into that community service. So it'll vary a little bit between adventures, but if you have specific questions on those projects, we're happy to answer them. So just reach out to us.
Great. I think we covered all the questions that we got yesterday during our webinar. Again, if you think of other questions for us, please reach out. We're happy to chat with people about our programs, answer any of your questions. You can give us a call, 919-256-8200, or send us an email. You can send out an email to brhq@gobroadreach.com, also directly to Patrick at pbryden@gobroadreach.com. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to hear from you later.
Bye.